So maybe something like cooking you do quite a lot of. But when was the last time you built a den? And maybe that would be really fun to kind of make a lovely little snuggly place in your home and just hide in there with a torch and supper and a book or some friends and just really start getting creative and fun again. You don't have to put off doing these things. You can have a den party and start right now. So thank you for all those. And then the final one is fantasies. Now this is me. This is where I've got my I Love Me badge on, and I am in space. And that to me is absolutely a #1 fantasy. So I'm going up into space, I'm free, I'm away from it all. I'm being creative, I'm the first person up there. I'm an explorer, I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before, or very few people. Now what's important about fantasies is that they take you to the part of you that is really, really important, and it's the part that you don't normally think about. So for example, by creating life clubs, I'm being free. I'm able to run my own business, I'm able to do what I want. So I have that freedom. By being in space and being an adventurer, I am treading where no one has trodden yet. I'm creating something that no one is yet doing. And that to me is all symbolized by the spaceman. Now another one of my fantasies is building a home. And for years I used to feel frustrated that I'd never been able to build my own house and probably never would. And then I realized that actually that love of building, that love of creating something from nothing, which in a way could be a sandcastle or a house, was actually what I was doing with my own business. So your fantasies are amazingly important to think of, and think, well actually don't dismiss them. And it's difficult at the moment, we're in a recession. To think creatively, to think big about fantasies is difficult. And yet what we are doing is we're really creating, we're getting in touch with what we want most of ourselves. So I don't know if any of you have got wild fantasies that you want to share. Maybe we'll do one more little round of the ball and just see, is there anything that's come up for someone that maybe in your way you thought, well, I'll never ever achieve. But actually now you realise that you can think behind it and think, well, what's important about that fantasy to me? What's it that fantasy is really saying that I want in my life? And that's what you want to be aiming for and thinking about, is what that fantasy really means to you. Have you got a fantasy? Yeah. Diving into the abyss, wow. Lovely. Anyone want to pick it up? Painting, great.
What did you say? Windsurfing.
Anyone want to play?
I do, I just can't reach it.
Sorry?
Sailing.
Sailing, fantastic. Anyone got anything else? Anyone like to say anything if the ball isn't coming to them? Anyone got a fantasy they'd like to share? Writing a book, great.
Flying.
Flying, fantastic.
Skydiving.
Skydiving, wonderful. Anyone else got any that they'd like to share? Sorry? Being a genius, great. Having your own exhibition, fantastic, thank you. So, can you hear what's going on? Everyone's got such different fantasies. And what is really important is thinking underneath, well, what is that about that fantasy that's important to me? And finding the values and finding where you really want to go with that fantasy. So now we've had a great exploration about we've had a good brainstorm. And now I'd like you to think about choices. And I absolutely love this slide, because to me this is just so beautifully colourful. It's kind of what Life Clubs is like, just loads and loads of colours. And what it says here is choices, because what's very, very important is choosing. And often we have so many demands placed on us, and we have so many things we want to do, that it's very important to narrow it down. So today I was playing more. That was my thing for today. Yes, I was being a mom, as you can see, so I've got a little bit of blue maybe for being a mom, and a little bit of dark blue for being a different kind of a mum to another child. And then I'm going to have all the pinks for being a playful person today. So it's like, this is your life, and you can choose the colours you want to reflect your mood of the day, and decide, well, what kind of a day am I going to have today? What can I put in my day? What can I take out? What balance do I want? How's that day going to work? So it's really, to me, that's a very nice visual that kind of sums up all the choices we have to make all the time in order to create the life that we want. And finally, it's goal setting. So we don't want to take a goal and just put it off. We don't want to say, well, I'm going to do my ideal life when I retire or when I'm 30. We want to do that ideal life right now. And often we just go off the boil and kind of say, oh, it's too big, it's too much. But my feeling is that you can just start bringing little things in all the time. Just think of each of the childhood fantasies, about the adult fantasies, about the activities that you liked, and just bring them in and start scoring goals and start making your life a kind of place where you're going to be moving faster and doing things more and things that you want, things that will be ideal for you. And finally, your goal for today could be coming to our stand and getting a free membership, and that would be a great place to start, because Life Clubs is very supportive, will help you achieve whatever dream you want, and do it in the quickest possible way. So thank you very much for being here today, and I really appreciate it, because I know it's time to go home time. But thanks a lot, and hope to see you soon. Thanks for playing ball.